you will need three numbers that come out from another video. One of them is the radius, the other one is the short length of the skirt, and the other is the long length. So you'll need quite a bit of floor space for this. And the idea is to draw a quarter of a circle. And some of that circle needs to be on the pattern paper, and some of that circle does not need to be on the pattern paper. So to save some precious paper, I've also laid out some newspapers. The center of our circle is going to go on the newspapers, and this is not an exact science. There might be some trial and error involved in this, but for me, I put the radius of the circle 30 centimeters from the edge of the pattern paper. So it's up here on the newspapers at 30 centimeters from the edge of the pattern paper. And then I drew a line that's parallel to the edge of the pattern paper all the way across, and that line is the radius of that quarter circle, but that radius needs to be the 84 centimeters plus the 50. So it's going to be 134 centimeters overall for that radius. So that's kind of the workspace we have, and then at the end I expect to have to add pattern paper on that side. Like it clearly ends, but I think my circle will go beyond that. So for now though, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 84 centimeters and I'm going to start by drawing that. See my quarter of a circle that way. I'll just use my tape measure to do that. So I got that quarter circle drawn, radius 84 centimeters. And for construction purposes, I also need to draw a line that is perpendicular to the radius that I drew. So essentially perpendicular to the sides of the, nice and square with the sides of the pattern paper. Draw all the way to the center of the circle that we marked. All right, so the next step is to draw a line that's joining, and I know it, I'm sure it doesn't show. Well, I can see a bit of a line here. I'm going to do another tutorial video where I do this on a smaller scale so that you see how it works, and then you can, once you have that background, you can transfer to the actual size. Transferring to the actual size adds a set of challenges. That's what this video is about. It's about those challenges. So here's the thing. You're going to take one end of your quarter circle and to the other end of your quarter circle, those 2 points, and we want to join them with a line. And then locate the middle of that line. Oh, mine turned out to be exactly 120 centimeters, so at 60 centimeters is going to be the middle. And I'm going to join the middle of that line with the center of the circle. And then you do want to go all the way to the edge of your circle, because this will give us a new point. So that's our new point. And what we're going to do is we want to draw a line between that point and the edge of the circle. It's the corner of our quarter circle. Now measure that line. So mine turns out to be 65, odd number. Too bad, because you gotta take half of that. So 32 and a half. There we go. I was lucky. This is just on the edge of my pattern paper. So if it lands on the newspapers, it means that you need to kind of redo the process and move your radius closer to the edge of the pattern paper. So in my case though, I eyeballed this correctly. It actually helps if you go through the other video and you draw a miniature version of all of this. It will help you judge where to put your radius. That's what I used to gauge where to put my radius, and that's how it worked. So at this point, we're done with that part of the construction. So, well, we won't use that. We can draw from the radius all the way, and then keep going past the edge of the circle this time. Keep going, because what we're going to do, and I'm going to just go ahead and go to the edge of my pattern paper. Just so I have enough. It's a construction line here. There we go. So I just went to the edge. So, gosh, that was a lot of the battle here. Because now what I have is I have the inner, this is going to be the waist here. If you wear this as a skirt, it could be something else, but if you wear this as a skirt, this would be where the waist, and this is where the waistband or ribbon is going to go. It's on this inner arc of a circle that we have now on our pattern paper. Trying to draw it thick and nice. It's best if you have more sophisticated tools, like a compass, I don't know, it's better. So this is what this is going to be. The line that we drew that was perpendicular to the pattern, to the sides of the pattern paper, that's going to be the center fold. So we'll need that too, and I'll have to extend it, and yeah, it's off camera. So, oh, I made it thick now so you can see. So you see this half, this fraction, this arc of a circle, that's going to be where the ribbon goes at the waist, and then it's where you wrap it. And then this is going to be the center fold, and I clearly don't have all of it. We're going to have to add. On this side I don't have enough length, so I'll have to add some pattern paper. Now, on that end over here, I'm going to move this, yeah. And I think this is near the end of October, and like, so at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and the sun is setting. We had a long summer, but it ended 2 days ago, so no more sun. So maybe if I turn on some light, this is better. So, trying to feel my way, yeah. The line that we just drew, that we extended to the edge of the pattern paper, that is going to be one edge of the fabric. Oh, I really should. I don't know if I want to make it thicker at this point. I guess I will, using my clunky ruler. If you have a yardstick, it's better. But like I said, my husband is using the yardstick. It's not mine, it's his, and he's using it right now. Alright, I'm doing this one nice and thick. So we have the beginning of our skirt shaping up here. And so if I counted things right, and I know I did, I should have more than enough. Remember the short length? That's what this line needs to be. It needs to be the short length, for me 50 centimeters. I go here and you are way more than enough. So it's going to be here. So I'm going to mark this. This is going to be one edge of my skirt. To do the rest of the construction, I need more. I need to add paper on that end because we're going to keep going with an edge with a circle. It's going to go like that, and we need more length. So I'm going to be adding pattern paper on that side and then continue the pattern tracing. So I've added a piece of drafting paper over on this side. So again, this was the fabric, the line that goes along the fabric fold, and it needs to go on, and so I have to add this piece of paper. And then we have our circle wrap that starts like this, and then I hope maybe I'll have to add here, who knows. But I had a piece of drafting paper from an earlier screw up, so I'm trying to use that. If you don't have a screw up, it might be possible for you, I don't know, I haven't tried it, to take this bit, and you're trying to save paper, there's this piece of pattern paper that is going to be cut away. So you could at this point cut that away and add it to where I have mine. I'm not sure that would work. But you could try just to save paper. I like to. I'm frugal. I don't see a reason to, even if I have the money. I'm trying to reduce my waste, my mark on this world. So always a good philosophy. Anyway, I've added that, and I'll continue with the drafting. So what we want to do is to extend the line that we couldn't because we were running out of the edge of the paper. I no longer have that issue, so continue that line, and it's going to be the length of that line from the waist down. It's going to be the short length again, so I'm going to extend it until I get to where it's 50 centimeters. So that seems to be more than I need. So mark the short length again on this line. There we go. So that's one. Okay, so that's going to be an important point. Come back to the waist. I'm calling it the waist. If you completely just wear this as a wrap skirt, that's where the waist would be. So we're trying to locate the center of that waist. Again, so the most precise way of doing this, it's the method we've used before. You join each end of that waistline, so each corner of that arc or circle that we have, join that with a line. So see, if you cut that away, now you're in trouble. You're drawing on the floor. Put some newspapers back on the floor so you can have that construction line. So I have a lot of lines, so it's kind of confusing. But yeah, I see it's this one. And then measure halfway. Measure half. 94. Gosh, do I have to do mental math on camera? So 45 plus 2, 47. Alright, now I realize that cutting out that part was terrible advice, because if you did that, you might have lost your center of the circle. So I did not move anything. Draw the line from the center of the circle through that center point we just marked. Okay, so this is the center point. Why did I need it? It's because from that center point, I want to go, and now I'm seeing that I'm going to need more. I'm going to need more pattern paper over here, so I'm going to go ahead and add that. All right, so now it's starting to look like a like a half circle skirt, isn't it? So we had marked our center point here. What do we do with that? Take your yardstick again and draw the line from the radius to that center point, and go straight I'm going to go to the edge of my pattern paper. Alright, so this is where the long length comes into play. So you're going to measure from the waist, so from the center of the waist, on that half, I mean this is actually going to be a quarter on the unfolded, when you unfold the fabric. So we want the long length on that, and with all of this I forgot what mine was. Long length for me is 70, alright? So 70 centimeters. So mark that point. Now the rest is going to be, I mean, we'll draw a couple more lines as guides, and after that it's free drawing, because you want a nice curve. So that's going to be the hardest part. So to begin though, join the short length mark that you made on the fold, on fabric fold, to the point I just determined, that's 70 centimeters from the waist. So draw that line, and then to the 50 centimeter mark that I made over here, the short length. Here we go. So right where we measured the long length, once you draw those two connecting lines, you get a point. Now, actually, you could leave that. Just be mindful that you'll be hemming this thing. So if you have a high level of skill and you know how to hem a point and make it look good, it will give a more edgy, the hem of your skirt is up to you, so it'll give it a more edgy type, like geometric shape. But if you want it rounded, then you need to round it, and I want to make mine rounded, so I'll have to do that, and there's really no, I'll have to go for it. Maybe to make it geometric, make it symmetric, it might be a good idea. First eyeball how I want my curve to go, and then decide, join it. So it looks like maybe here would be a nice place to hit. So that's a 35. So then you make another 35 mark over here. Oh, and maybe if I have a guiding line, it might help. No, I don't think it'll help much. So wish me luck. Here I go. Yeah, looks like a good curve. So here we go. We're done. the rest of it for me is gonna have to make it nice and thick and even, have a single line on my curve, and cut it up. So just as a reminder, this does not have any seam allowances on it. I think I'll discuss it elsewhere, how much fabric to buy. So there's a precise way of determining that. But when you get your actual pattern, now is a good time to measure out a rectangle into which this will fit. And then you want to double that rectangle. And of course the fabric will have to lay down the way I had unfolded my pattern paper, with this being the whatever width you can buy, and then this being the length of fabric that you end up buying.